How the race for the top four is shaping up with 5 teams in the mix. 5-1 doesn't go as a quintuplet of teams battle it out for fourth in the Premier League. Manchester United, West Ham, Arsenal, Wolves, and Tottenham are all in the hunt for the final for Champions League qualification spot next season, with just 7 points separating 4th-placed United and 8th-placed Spurs. That 7-point gap could easily swing too, with Tottenham having 3 games in hand on United. In fact, of the contenders it is only West Ham who have played the same amount of games, 26, as the current occupiers of 4th. So, as we near the business end of the season, who has the advantage? Sportsmail takes a look at the likelihood of those 5 teams' chances. The current occupiers of 4th, Manchester United, remain an enigma. Yes, they may be in the last top 4 position, but it's very much a case of wasted opportunity for the Red Devils. The last 3 months have yielded a relatively kind fixture list to United, one they have not capitalized on. A 1-1 draw at relegation-threatened Newcastle on December 27 was followed up by a 1-0 home defeat by Wolves on January 3, and then a 2-2 draw with Aston Villa 12 days later. This month too has seen them drop points with successive 1-1 draws within days, first at Burnley and then at home to Southampton. It's the manner of those dropped points too. In those 3 most recent draws, United have led then been pegged back on each occasion, unable to make their chances count. History almost repeated itself on Sunday too during their 4-2 win at Leeds, initially throwing away a 2-goal lead. The reason why many will feel it's been a wasted opportunity for Manchester United is because of their upcoming fixtures. They're daunting to say the least. After hosting relegation-threatened Watford on Saturday, who put 4 past them in the reverse fixture, United then travel to table toppers Manchester City, March 6, host Tottenham, March 12, and then go to arch-rivals Liverpool, March 20. March Madness, indeed. On current form alone, it would be quite conceivable for United to pick up just 6 points there by beating Watford and Tottenham at home. April's run of games include Leicester, who put 4 past them earlier in the season, Everton, and Arsenal, the latter a potentially pivotal top 4 clash. United's final home game of the season too is against Chelsea, May 15. By then it could be too late for their top 4 hopes unless they deliver in these big matches. We all know the song, but has the bubble burst at West Ham? 1 win in their last 5 matches has derailed David Moyes' side top 4 aspirations. After beating Norwich City 2-0 on January 12, the Hammers sat 4th on 37 points, 6 clear of Manchester United, although they had played 2 games more. Since their disappointing run of results, they now trailed the Red Devils by 4 points and have played the same number of matches. Jarrod Bowen has been exceptional this season, as well as talisman Declan Rice, and Moyes will be hoping the rest of his stars can step up a level too. Many of the Hammers' loyal fanbase wanted the club to sign another striker during the January transfer window, and the lack of one could come back to haunt them. On Sunday, West Ham's top 4 credentials will be tested when they host in-form Wolves before then travelling to second-placed Liverpool on March 5. 15 days after the trip to Anfield, West Ham head just a few miles north to bitter rivals Tottenham in what is bound to be another top 4 crunch clash. That fixture against Spurs is their 9th last Premier League game, and in that run-in they have 4 London derbies. They play Brentford, Chelsea, and Arsenal to add an extra spice to their run-in. Chelsea and Arsenal are 2 of their last 5 fixtures, which also includes the visit of Manchester City in their penultimate game of the season. On paper, the top 4 race should be advantage Arsenal. The Gunners, who lost their first 3 games of the season, don't forget, are just 4 points off 4th, and they have 3 matches in hand, so let's start there. And one should never assume that they do win all 3 fixtures, then Arsenal will be 5 points clear at the top. However, those said fixtures are daunting to say the least, as they are a home game against Liverpool and trips to Chelsea and Tottenham. Dates for any of the latter 2 matches are still yet to be determined, and this is bound to see the Gunners truly tested as we approach the business end of the season. Their next fixture is on Thursday at home to Wolves. The 2 teams played each other on February 10, a match that the Gunners won 1-0 with 10 men. This will give them confidence into Thursday, but make no mistake, that Wolves will be a tough opponent. After Wolves comes fixtures against Watford and Leicester before the Gunners head to Liverpool, March 16. That daunting encounter is then followed by another tricky trip to Aston Villa 3 days later. April will be the Gunners' true test, as it includes 3 away trips at Crystal Palace, Southampton, and West Ham. The game at the Hammers, April 30, comes just a week after they entertain Manchester United, April 23. Arsenal fans will expect victories in their last 3 matches, which are Leeds, H, Newcastle, A, and Everton, H. However, all 3 may be dicey affairs, with those opponents all fighting to avoid relegation currently. After a downturn last season, Wolves are back in European contention, but this time fighting for a Champions League spot. Bruno Lage was appointed in June 2021 and has done a magnificent job at Molineux so far. After a slow start to the season, where they lost 3 of their first 4 matches, Lage's side have regrouped and have quietly remained in the pack for a top 4 finish. They have 2 games in hand on Manchester United, and victory in both would see them go level on points with the Red Devils. This week coming, Wolves have 2 huge games that could shape their top 4 hopes. On Thursday they host Arsenal, and then on Sunday travel to West Ham. Wolves supporters will back themselves to emerge from March at least undefeated, which includes games against relegation-threatened Watford, Everton, and Leeds. April begins with the small matter of a local derby against Aston Villa, and then a trip to Newcastle before the toughest of run-ins. April 16 sees the visit of Manchester City, May 7 is a trip to Chelsea, while the final game of the season is at Liverpool, May 22. Chuck in the fact that Burnley, A, and Norwich, H, are also part of the 6-game finale and could still be scrapping to stay in the division, then Wolves will really need to move in a pack to remain in the top 4 hunt. The standout result at the weekend was Tottenham's stunning 3-2 win at champions-elect Manchester City. The result showed what this Spurs side can do despite their up-and-down season. That win at the Etihad Stadium on Saturday was their first in 4 Premier League matches following defeats by Chelsea, 2-0, Southampton, 2-3, and Wolves, 0-1. Antonio Conte's side have 3 games in hand on Manchester United, and victory in all of those would see them go 1 point clear of the Red Devils. Wednesday night's trip to Burnley is one of those games, and the visit to Turf Moor will be a difficult one considering their opponents' relegation fears. Games against Leeds and Everton follow before a trip to United on March 12 follows. A week later, March 20, they host West Ham in a London derby in a huge few days for top 4 ramifications. On the surface, April doesn't currently look too taxing for the North London outfit, although there is still the small matter of derby against bitter rivals Arsenal to also include. May begins with a tough trip to Liverpool, May 7, with Spurs' final 2 matches against relegation candidates in Burnley, May 15, and Norwich, May 22.